All right, we'll get started here in just a minute, guys. Give me just one moment. We're getting set up here. All right, what is cooking? What is up, everybody? Welcome in. Gosh, I'm loud as hell. Let me turn that down just a little bit. But what is up, everybody? Welcome in to a little. I almost slipped up and almost said the previous spot, but welcome into Now We Can Talk Like Fans. We're just doing a little watch along, a little live stream for the University of Louisville game as they take on the SMU Mustangs on the road today. And this is something. Just stick with me. Stick with me. This might be a little bit of a bumpy ride, but we're going to try to make this thing work, and we're going to do this. This will be a little test drive of how things will happen here. If you haven't already, do me a favor. If you don't know, I'm doing this from, there's multiple avenues of which this will be streaming on YouTube, on Twitter. It may be on Facebook. I'm not sure if that actually was going to work out or not, but at least will be on YouTube will be the main spot to go. So if you haven't already, if you're tuning in, this is your first time seeing it, go over to the YouTube channel at Now We Can Talk Like Fans and go over there, subscribe there. I put out a few videos already so far, just in the last week or two, and I've actually had a lot of fun. A lot of fun doing a lot of stuff that I really was trying to get going with the stuff over in the Elephant in the Room, ESPN Louisville Plus, and everything that was going on there, the guys there, and everything that was happening there. Stuff that I want to continue and try to do here. It's a passion project. It's something that I enjoy, especially being a Louisville fan and just really wanting to get an opportunity to kind of get behind the mic and just kind of talk about my team, especially given, I mean, heck, right now, as we see guys lining up right now, see Chucky Hepburn. I know I saw Noah Waterman will be out for this game, which I have conflicted feelings about that overall. But anyway, as we get into this and get into this hopeful new venture here with the live streams and different content we can bring and different things that we can have over here to hang out and cheer on our team. But anyway, a lot of the dreams that I had when it comes to like content creation, when it comes to watching games and doing different things along with that, was really to have more of a the way I looked at it was a community-based kind of set. There we go. I already less than just a couple minutes here, and I've already unhooked the setup. But anyway, I wanted to have a little bit as it has officially tipped off, and now Louisville with the ball, Chucky Hepburn to start the game here. But anyway, a lot of what I wanted to do was really community-based and hopefully to try to develop something here down the line that really would like to see it grow into something special. Anyway, I see we already have a couple comments in there uploaded. Good thing there was not any other viewing parties going on right now. Thank you. Wow, that's very that's very kind of you. I don't know. Are there? Did somebody else do something? I have no idea. This is just my idea. Is there actually another viewing party? If there is, let me know, because I have no idea. I just thought this would be a good opportunity, right? I thought right now, with Louisville playing on the road and being in a late game, which is kind of probably a mistake on my end, because I decided today would also be a good day for Fat Boy to get up and do a little exercise at 6 a.m. And then we go 3-ball to start the game. That's what I like to see on the road right now. And it's weird, too. It's weird being able to come into these games as a Louisville fan, especially given what I've been dealing with for the last 3 years. And that's obviously a big reason for wanting to try to do content like this, or to do a setup or a situation like this, where I can kind of get a little bit of my opinion out there, and definitely want to share that in a way that is not what's the word I'm really looking for? That's not. I'm able to give a little bit of more depth to my thought, to my line of thinking. It's Rain Smith gets blocked there over there. Okay, when he gets blocked, it's okay. It'll be fine. Maybe that's not exactly your game there, boy. But whatever. I'll take it. I'll take it. Is a lot of my emotions and my feelings. I talked a little bit in the first video, talking about Louisville, talking about the team, talking about the way that I've fanned for the last couple years. And it's something that I kind of want to get out there, which is like, I am a passionate fan. I care about this team as much as it sounds sometimes that like I just am pissy and whiny and angry. Let's go another 3-ball there. That's what I'm talking about. That's a good start to the game. Javion Hadley there following it up. Now we got a 6-0 lead against SMU on the road. And I know my guy, Dwight, was out there asking me, what is my opinion when it comes to this game? And overall, I was puckered up. I'm nervous. I'm nervous about this game. This seems like a situation where this would be the slip up for Louisville on the road. SMU gets their first 2 points of the game right there. Anyway, I don't need to do play by play. I don't know why I'm doing that right now. You'll get the big reactions of if I get angry or if I get upset. But I would like y'all to give me some of your opinions down in the chat below, or even on Twitter if you can respond on there. I think they give an option there for you to chat in that as well. What's your feeling going into this game? Are you nervous? Are you excited? Do me a favor, let me know that. But anyway, as it comes to me and how I fan, one of the biggest issues for me personally was always just kind of being, and I'm trying to think the best way to put it. Like, I think going into the Kenny Payne seasons, going into the Kenny Payne saga, I felt like as a fan that I was kind of being held captive by my own teams, by the teams that I cheered for, that I was being told that this is what you're going to deal with. So when I saw what was happening, when I saw 2 seasons of Drek, when I saw 2 wasted years of there we go, Chucky. That's what I'm talking about. Okay, 3 balls falling makes me feel a little bit better about this game. Let me see if I can get this thing to be reset. Can we get a refresh on the scoreboard? Can we get that going? Let's see. Let me see if I take that away and I bring it back in here. There we go. Now we can actually get the scoreboard up here on the screen. So that way you can see exactly where I am during this game. Because I know a lot of times, too, when it comes to any kind of streaming, there's a delay from watching the stream, and then there's another delay of watching the watch-along. So anyway, a lot of anger and frustration coming out of what I viewed as, and I had understanding, right? I had understanding about the situation with Kenny Payne, of why a guy like Kenny Payne, why he was considered and why he even got the job in the first place. And I understand, I know a lot of people are ready to move on from talking about Kenny Payne, but I think he deserves every bit of vitriol until we say we're done, until we say we're ready to move on. And I had to sit through that. I had to watch wasted potential, wasted money, wasted years of my life. So no, we don't just move on right away. Anyway, Kenny Payne, during those 2 seasons, especially after they decided after the first season that we're going to keep trying to make excuses for this guy, and we're going to go in a second round, you're going to deal with a whole nother season of Kenny Payne. That was a bit of the time for me when I was like, okay, this is too much. This is too much for me. I can't handle, I can't handle my university not believing in the program, or not believing the program should be the status of what it really is. So I doubted. I was not a believer. I was frustrated. I was angry. I had all these different emotions swelling up inside of me. And then that second season, and that's why when we came to what we dealt with in March, when it came to getting a new coach, that I was a doubter of Pat Kelsey. I was not excited about this Pat Kelsey thing getting started and moving forward. But thankfully, he seems to have made a good change and made strides as a coach when it comes. Maybe not even as a coach. Let's not say that. This is the coach that he was. This was the gem that Josh Hurd was able to find, thanks to assistance from Jay Wright and those around him. But what worried me, and the reason that I don't know why I feel the need to come in here and try to make excuses for why I did what I did and why I said the things that I said. But at the time, when I look at when we were going through the process of hiring a coach, if you would have made the move on from Kenny Payne after year one, I would have probably taken about anybody. I would have been willing to understand we messed up and we made this hire. That's what the university is saying. We messed up and we made this hire. We understand we have to make a move on right now. We need to move on from Kenny Payne. We need to move on from this disaster of a situation. But instead, with what I got was people coming back to me telling me, you're wrong. You don't know sports. You don't know basketball. You are wildly misguided when it comes to the success that a coach can have at the University of Louisville. And it's a much more difficult situation. You know, and I'm not trying to retread all the they lied to us, because they lied to us. But at the same time, like, I would have understood at that point in time making a hire of what I thought Pat Kelsey was. And the reason that I haven't been high on him is because Pat Kelsey was a gamble. He is a gamble. Because he has not been proven at this level. That's why, you know, everybody was begging for all the other hires, trying to, you know, wish, you know, the ones that were not going to happen, like Nate Oates or Bruce Pearl or whatever, all those guys to come here, at least strike as hard as you can to try to get them. And then Scott Drew and all of that goes along with it. Even the night before when I was over there getting excited about Richard Pitino potentially coming. I mean, Richard Pitino's not a bad coach either. Maybe would have fixed a couple of relationships there. But I don't know. Maybe given the relationship with Kentucky being mended, maybe we don't want that at all. As play resumes now and Chucky Hepburn's bringing it up the court for right now. But anyway, I just my main thing was this was a gamble. And by God, I'm not gonna say, I won't say that I can't say it. It's not possible for me to do that. But the data sure did shift a lot when it came to Pat Kelsey. And these last 8 games, and I know I'm not supposed to talk about the streak. I think I can talk about the streak, right? I'm just a fan, just like you all. I'm just a fan. But we can talk about the streak. Jonathan Hall, Pat is a modernized coach who builds great culture. Kenny was the opposite of that. And I think it's becoming more and more obvious how true that is when you look at what is happening right now. I mean, there's so many different facets we could talk about when it comes to John Calipari and his situation. There we go. Okay, there you go. Clean up, Javion. That's what I'm talking about. All right. When you talk about what is currently happening down in Arkansas, I do wonder if there's a time and place where even Calipari has to cut the cord. Well, I understand Kenny Payne may not be the focal point of the issues. I do wonder how much having a coach that is basically good for nothing, especially at this point and with NIL, and you're getting all the players you need anyway. I don't think Kenny Payne is being that ultimate recruiter that we were all sold, that bill of goods that we were sold. And that's why I do kind of wonder if even John Calipari may ditch him here at the end of this season or even next year. I'd be interested to see how that one plays out. Good start overall, obviously. Well, okay, foul on the floor. All right. So one of the things I'm starting off with is sipping on a little bit of Weller. Getting me started throughout this game. I'll be honest. It's a late one. This one's a late one for me. So 9 o'clock, I didn't think it was going to hit as hard as it is, but it's hitting pretty hard right about now. It's a little bit of a doozy, guys. And if you are tuned in right now, do me a favor, please go over to the YouTube channel, hit the like button, smash the subscribe button, all that good stuff. We would definitely appreciate the support over there. I want to try to bring more and more content like this. Like I said, even if it's UK fans coming in and hating on our team, that's fine. I'll take it. I'll deal with you. Give me some crap. What's up, Cards? What's up, my man? This is fire that you're keeping this up, bro. Yeah, definitely. And I'll open this up too if you want to. If you have any questions or anything you want to talk about, let me know. But I'm trying to. I want to. This is a passion for me. Doing this thing. This to me is what I believe personally with Louisville and even Kentucky to some point. Yes, there are obviously the big Kentucky ventures, like ASRs, and all of those. Their teams. There are versions of that they have their YouTube channel, and they have stuff like that. And then obviously you look at Barstool and the things that they do. And regardless of what you think about Barstool, they're revolutionary when it comes to community, sports-driven kind of content. And I think the guys hopefully the guys at ESPN Louisville, like I said, nothing but love for everybody there. Hopefully they're getting on this too, and hopefully they're going to pursue this strongly. As I've heard from Jinky over there and people that they are doing that. So I'm excited for them and hope that they keep it up. Because this stuff I think is the future of sports content creation. It's gonna be a slow burn starting out, and I understand that, but it's something that I'm passionate about and I love doing. I love being able to come down here and talk about, like, and I've done it before with Bianca and Arizona guys there. Love them. If Ale and Julian that I think are still doing it right now. Love them and love Juventus, and it's hard to do with Juventus playing during the days and all that. But like Louisville is my first love. Is that number one? Is that, that's my baby girl. So I want to be able to do that with Louisville sports and be able to actually get into it. And it's funny, but like we tried doing a little bit of this last year, and we tried to do it with Kenny Payne. And just talk about the most miserable of experiences. And I'm sorry that I keep going back to the Kenny Payne well. I'm not trying to just dig into him. But, like, we were sitting here. Love you, Jack. Jack Grossman was on with us and a few people. And, like, we're sitting there. He's breaking down, like, the 1-3-1 defense that they're running. And I'm like, man, like we can't. We can't be seriously doing that right now. Like they are not running anything. So now it's interesting. It's weird to actually watch guys switching, watch guys adjusting. Watch this move made by Edwards there. Did he save it? Anyway, just watching guys and what they bring to the team and the chemistry overall. And that's kind of one of the things too, is like I'm trying to avoid walking this line of being like the 3-by. Okay, all right, Chucky. All right, let's go. Let's go 17-6 early on. All right. That's what I'm talking about. This is exactly what I need to see coming in. I came in a little meek. I didn't know. I was a little scared. It's still early. But anyway, one of the things for me personally as a fan, that I like I said, I wasn't I hate the vomit worthy kind of, you know what I mean? Like I cheer on my team and I love my team, but I do, quote Lachlan McLean. I do want to. It makes me vomit when people are a little too positive. You know what I mean? When it's too positive, when it feels forced, when it feels too, rah, whatever you want to call it, that's not who I am. But that being said, the work that Kenny Payne has, dang it. Now I'm dropping an F-bomb already. Wait, where is it? Where's, do I got a sounder here?
He's hungry.
Okay, there we go. Chucky Hepburn.
He's hungry.
I think what I actually meant to play was
something that I wasn't prepared for, and that was the hatred.
But anyway, one of the, where was I even going? What was I talking? Oh, okay. About being overly positive and optimistic. It's come over me, man. Like it's here, and I can't believe that I'm feeling this right now. And maybe it's just this resurgence. Somebody talked about it in the comment section on one of the videos I did. And by the way, I don't know who is blowing these videos up, but like for a channel that just started and that has like 200 subscribers, especially compared to channels that I've done with not massive channels, but channels with like close to 10,000, and then even the one for ESPN Level Plus had about 1,600 or something like that on. It was a decent amount of people. But like these videos for 200, for like when you're putting out videos for an account with like 200 subscribers, you're expecting to get like, I mean, normally the numbers are like 20%, not to, like you're gonna get 20% of that is gonna be views. I expect nothing and just a slow grind and build. But for some reason, these are popping off, and UK fans and U of L fans, each one has done at least over 1,000 views, which is like may not sound like a lot to you all, but like for a brand new thing to me, that's crazy. So shout out to whoever's finding it, or however the algorithm is working with that. What's up, Justin? Says L's up. Absolutely. Yes, sir. So good defense being played early. Really like what I'm seeing from the guys as they come out today. It looks like they are handling it. That's the thing too. Every single thing with this team, it's just a business trip. It's a business trip every single game in and game out, and that's what I love about it. Terrence Edwards with the 3, misses again. I do love too seeing Abubakar Traore ever since he got in, just seeing the energy he brings, and also like I don't know how else to say it. I love his lanky ass arms. That's what I have to say. His lanky ass arms, I love them. They're always moving, they're always going, they're always doing something, and I just love he's able to just pull the ball out of midair, and I love that. Jinky, what's up, my guy? Says Go Cards. Appreciate you, man. Guys, if you haven't already, do me a favor. I see people leaving comments. Like the video, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, all that good stuff. It helps the channel to continue to grow. It helps us bring more content. I appreciate it. Jinky, I don't know what you're up to, but if you want to hop on at any time in this, I think, because I'd mentioned to you something about like FaceTime may work, or honestly an audio call. If you want to try it, if you have time and you want to hop in during any part of this, you let me know, and we'll give it a try. We'll see if it works. This is a test run. This is the maiden voyage. This is whatever you want to call it. But when it comes to this, and the main reason I say we'll try it out is because I went a little cheap with this one. When we were full stream ahead, trying to do ESPN Level Plus, I was paying the expensive one, so that way everybody could interview and join in and do all that. This one, I just kind of planned to do a lot of me. I'm sorry, I ain't pretty, but this is what you got. 17-6, hell of a start for the Cards as they begin this game. I'm excited to see. Hopefully they can keep this up, and hopefully they can just get work done. But then again, that's just kind of something I was saying along those lines is when it comes to Louisville basketball, just seeing this workman-like attitude. And just seeing them be able to go in and game out, especially on the road. That's probably my favorite part, is that they play better on the road than they play at home somehow. Especially just coming off not able to really capitalize against Virginia. I mean, they did capitalize, but not able to cover against Virginia. Yeah, I guess if we're going to think in those kind of terms, that'd be something I could worry about. But not covering against Virginia at home, especially Virginia. And even though I know Boston College is not very good, but Boston College they go to Boston College and beat them by 20. So I'm not going to be the guy who's going to talk about these teams like the ACC isn't kind of direct this year. It is. But at the same time, Kentucky fans who want to leave comments, who want to urinate on the ACC and Louisville's performance in beating bum teams, whatever. That's fine. You can say that. But if I look at what Kentucky's done for the last 20 years, outside of a couple spurts here and there, a couple of Joakim Noah teams, a couple of Floridas and a couple Tennessees here and there, you're playing basically the same style of a league until now. And then this year it is great. Oh, there's Pat Kelsey with the Tom Fords. I have the Tom Frauds here. The problem is with the Tom Frauds, they glare a lot. I know I said I'd be wearing them throughout the whole season, but they glare, and then also I gotta wear glasses or I'm blind as a bat. So I'm not sure if these would work like that. I could do that. Is that what works? Is that what I want to do? I don't know. Like I said, do me a favor, smash the like button, hit the subscribe button. Definitely, I'll go to the YouTube channel. Definitely appreciate your support with that there. All right, back into play. What else do I have from little K-Pain?
Welcome to Kentucky.
No, yeah, that's all I got. Yeah. Well. All right. SMU gets sent to the line, might get their first points in how many minutes it's been. Let's go into Twitter. Actually, you know what? Let's go into Twitter. Let's see. I see Mark Blankenbaker already complaining. I see a few people already complaining about some foul calls. I guess he had to have something to be upset about. Let's see. Oh, okay. All right. I love that. I love that so much from James Scott. Every freaking time, whenever there's a lane slightly open or any kind of ball movement, you know he's moving toward the net. I love it every single time. And there's Rain Smith drawing an offensive foul. That's what I'm talking about. That is the exact kind of game plan I want to see on both ends, right back to back. Give me that every single time. All right. Like I said, I don't want to let my guard down because there's a part of me that's going to be a little bit, I'm going to get a little too, I don't know if I want to say chesty, but a little too excited, a little bit too, I'm feeling good about this team. But right now I'm feeling good about this team. And there's James Scott once again, back-to-back flushes. I love him. Okay, and this was kind of my take. This was kind of my feeling about the the Noah Waterman situation. Now, I don't want to hate on Noah Waterman because I like Noah Waterman. I think he's fine. I think he's useful. And then we get that mystery by Terrence Edwards. Personal opinion. Maybe letting Noah Waterman heal and recover and recoup for a bit. Did we just draw another offensive foul? What the hell is going on? Let's go. You tell, man. Wait. All right, let's see. The worst part about this is I can't hear what they're saying. Maybe they didn't. Maybe they didn't draw an offense. I have no idea if they're reviewing this or what's happening, but we're gonna find out. If somebody's watching and can let me know in the chat, let me know as well. Because okay, we got a review now. Okay. Yeah, I think it's the right call. If that holds. Anyway, the Noah Waterman thing. How do I say this nicely? I kind of prefer it. I think it's better if Noah Waterman, if he doesn't play. The less I see of Noah Waterman right now, the better. If we want to say it's because of his hand healing and he's taking less shots and his shots off because of that, that's fine. A lot of his 3-point shooting early on was the bane of my bleeping existence. A lot of the bad choices made, instead of hanging around near the basket where we needed a guy of his size, bothered me. So right now, I love seeing a guy like James Scott, who's got the size. He didn't really have the girth, but he finds a way. Thank you, Jingy. Extra stuff after the play. Okay. So, okay. Are they ejecting him? What are we doing? I need to have this. I need closed captioning. Somebody give me something. All I know is all I see right now is PK screaming at Rain Smith. Okay, all right. It's our ball, so I feel good. Let's just keep it rolling. Anyway, I don't know. Am I wrong to say that I would rather not see Noah Waterman playing that much. It just, like, I know, like, right now you have Frank Ansel and eBay out there, but at the same time, I don't know. That's my personal opinion in this matter. All right. I'm gonna need to have some water mixed with this every once in a while. Whew. Oh, that's a hell of a block on Hadley. Yeah. A little sloppy. Getting a little sloppy. Okay. There you go, Rain. Okay. Wow. All right, there you go, Rain. That's what I'm talking about. Okay. If this is the best that the league has to offer right now, okay, how much of it is this? I think a lot of my nerves and a lot of my feelings about this game, a lot of where I felt nervous and a lot of where I felt like Louisville maybe could, should, or probably will lose this game, is how many times, especially coming out of being unranked, and then seeing Frank, you can't get called for that. Anyway, how many times coming either from being unranked or moving up into a position like this do they usually drop this kind of game? And it's funny to say because it's been over 4 years, almost 5 years since the last time Louisville basketball has been ranked. So it's like, how, I can't really speak from recent experience, especially definitely not this coach, definitely not the last coaching staff, over 2 coaching staffs ago before I can actually get back to when Louisville actually has played and been ranked and how they had played and how they had adjusted and all that. All right, that's good. There you go. All right, it's some good hustle. Good hustle plays is what I'm seeing right now. But this just felt like a game. It just felt like a game that I personally felt like we were going to get shafted at some point. That something was not going to go right. And there's a lot of time. But for right now, I'm feeling pretty good about the way they're playing. A little muscle man right now. All right. So how's everybody feel about Trump being in? How's everybody feel about Trump being in? Everybody like that? Everybody happy? Everybody support that? Everybody good? Again, let me push it again. If you haven't already, do me a solid favor. Go over to the YouTube channel, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button on the video. Help push that out. Help me out in the algorithm. Help this thing start to take off. This is, like I said, this is the maiden voyage. The first flight, if you will, the flight of the Concorde. This is the first time that I'm really trying to get this thing going and just trying to see how we'll do it here. Jinky, like I said, if you for some reason want to try to hop on and join or something like that, you let me know. That way we can have a little bit of back and forth talking about what we've seen, especially either at halftime or something like that. I'm going to hit up a couple people, see what they want to say too down the line. But right now, I just wanted to see if this would even really work out. Let me find a good place. I'll put these right here. That'll be a good spot right there. Jonathan Hall says, I'm glad Noah isn't playing either. However, he's never shot this bad in his career. And that's fair. That's fair. I just, and I've been kind of proven incorrect a little bit in this situation because as much as I've said stop shooting the damn 3, like I remember I screamed the entire first half about stop shooting the damn 3 against Kentucky. I literally have Kentucky friends of mine, I'm pretty sure, that have texted me during this game saying they need to stop shooting the 3 sarcastically. And I understand, especially now I'm seeing the fruits of the labor and their efforts where Pat Kelsey's going to shoot the damn 3 ball. You need his teams to be good with the three, and you need them to be hitting. They're going to be streaky. There may be times like early in the season where they're just not hitting. But as he said, as past records have shown, they get streaky when it comes to winning games, when it comes to performing and dominating those games. So if this is the outcome, I will live with it. But when it comes to Noah Waterman just being kind of dog water shooting the three this season, it's really hard for me to get over it. It's really frustrating to watch him go out there and just jack up errant three balls, especially when he seems so he's just avoiding. He tends to avoid playing under the rim, which bothers me a little bit for a guy of his size. Because it's like, what are you bringing out there? Unless you have another guy out there like Will Scott, Will Scott. Wait, James Scott. Jesus Christ. Yeah. We got Will Scott out there. We'll put Will Scott out there. We'll be fine. So stupid. All right. Another three from Rain. Okay. All right, Rain. And I felt bad too, because earlier in the year I was doing I don't want to call it the Luke Hancock thing, but I was kind of doing that with Rain, where I think I think this might have been the moment for Rain Smith that really did change his trajectory at the University of Louisville. I remember tweeting out, and I deleted it immediately. I had to delete it because I knew what I'd done. But I was being a whiny baby. I was being a whiny bitch baby, and it's fine. But I was saying something along the lines of like, what does and that's why I love James Scott. That right there is why I love James Scott. Just no matter what, he's just spinning in the lane, and he's got it. He's good no matter what. It's going in the rim. Don't you worry, I'm gonna put it in. That's why I have a third kid on the way. Anyway, the thing. So it was during Rain Smith's early, his early stretch, similar. And I hate that I'm not trying to compare them, but it's the same. It's a white guy who's supposed to be good at shooting the three. Didn't shoot the three great early on. People complained. People like me whined and whatever. People booed Luke. I didn't boo Luke at that time. I promise I didn't boo Luke. I didn't boo him. I didn't. I was just cheering Luke. I love Luke, even when he wasn't hitting the three. But I remember it was literally a play before he makes. What game was this? It was early on. It was right around maybe a game or two before the Kentucky game, and I think I tweeted something along the lines of like, if he's not hitting the three ball, what does Rain Smith bring to this team? And I was saying something along like, absolutely nothing. There's nothing he does. He can't do whatever. I think that's probably the one where the game that he ended up winning. Obviously, he ended up. Why am I blanking right now? It's been a long day. He ended up winning the game. He ended up sealing the game for Louisville, and it wasn't with a three ball. And that's when I knew I had to zip it up. I had to shut up because I was going to be proven wrong. And then, okay. Rain, even there may be a little bit far for James Scott to go get it. He's confident. He was ready to do it. He tried. But even there may be a little far for my boy. Little bit of space, little bit of distance there. Excuse me. All right. I've been talking a lot. I may leave a little bit more space for reaction and watching, because I feel like this isn't it's not a radio show. I guess I don't need to have a complete I don't have to have something to say every second. So I'm gonna let it breathe a little bit because your boy's choking over here. Also, you want to talk about the worst damn night of the year to be doing this, to be doing a watch along, because I'm doing this from my basement. It is freaking. I mean, I guess it's probably like 55 degrees because I don't think your basement's really going to get that much colder or warmer either way. We used to have it where it would be open to a little bit of the elements until we had that sealed off. But it's damn cold. It's damn cold down here to try to watch this basketball game and focus in on it. What's up, Brian? Brian, you want to call in? You want to call in, give your opinions at halftime? All you got to do is hit the call-in line. You know the personal call-in line. Actually, let me see if I even can set it up. I want to get Brian's opinions. Do I even have? Let me see. I might have where it's set up. Let's do that, Brian. You're giving the girls a bath, bro? Hey, Ezria. Hey, Rowan. What's up? It's awkward. Anyway, all right. Chucky Hepburn at the line right now. I think he hit the first one. I may have missed it. I think he hit the first one, though. Yep, second one's good. 33-15. Oh, this is like right on, too. Which is kind of shocking for me. Usually a lot of these scorekeeper things, the apps are not like, usually they're a little like a minute or two behind. But I'm really impressed the way this one's gone. All right, SMU's getting a couple buckets here now. I'm still not nervous though. We're still Gucci. We're still Gucci over here. Right. Oh, Rain. Oh, Rain. Okay. What's he shooting for? What's his clip right now? Somebody tell me what Rain Smith's clip is. I'll look it up. Let me find it. Let me find the clip. What's he at? What's he at from three? Good defense there. Okay, box score. Rain Smith is perfect 3 for 3 from deep. And then who's the foul on? Okay. All right. Oquindo. All right. Do me a favor. If you haven't already, smash the like button, hit the subscribe button, all that good stuff. Jason. Okay. Yeah. Give me 1 sec. Let me respond to this. You know what? We'll just do this on the air. This is, like I said, this is the maiden voyage. I'm trying this out. Jinky. We can try video. If you want to try to do video, try FaceTiming me. And I want to see if this will let me use the FaceTime on here. Let's try to do that. Let's try that out. That's good. They're not hitting threes, so still feel more and more confident. No more three guys. No, sir. No, please. Okay. All right. Give me. I'm gonna try to answer this. Okay. Let's see if I can add you in here. Okay. We're gonna try this in here. Share. No. How do I add you in? This is real professional. This is how we do it. This is how we do it. Let's see. Exactly. That's fine. This is good for the maiden voyage. We can do this. All right. So I'm gonna put me over here. All right. Let's just completely f this up. All right. There's me here. Can I add you? Can maybe, huh? I swore there's a way. Okay. Okay. Let's see. I'm gonna try to get Jinky in here. Desk view. What's that? No, I don't want to show my desk view. Oh. Give me a sec. All right. So something on here says that I should be able to add Jinky in here. Jinky's on the call. All right, let's see. Let's add source. Okay. Recording. I wonder. Add. Okay. So if I add this one, new source, show source and server window. You know what? Fuck it. You want to just do audio for now? That might just be easier, and then I'll figure it out next time. Yeah, here. 1 sec. I'll call. Okay, we will call. All right. Okay. All right. Can you hear me? Okay. Sweet. Now it works. We'll just do the audio then if you're good with it. What's been your so first of all, congratulations to you and all your the shine you've been getting over at ESPN Louisville. And yeah. Yeah. Oh, hey, okay. My bad. This is not going through the thing. Let me make sure they can hear. Let me just a sec. I'm gonna call you on my phone. Let me just a sec. No. Okay. Doc. All right. Sorry. I know I'm not talking. It's because I've been trying to get this thing set up. So give me just 1 second. And once that's set up, we will be. Oh, that's one reason too. Okay. Now I'm going to call Jinky. Okay. This should work now.
Hey, what's up?
All right. Can you hear me? Say something. Let's see if it works.
Yeah, I can hear it.
Okay. Yep. Now it works. Now we should be good. Everybody, let me know if y'all can hear Jason on there, or Jinky, or what, anyway.
Yeah, you can talk.
Anyway, so as I was saying, and they couldn't hear anyway, but congratulations on a little bit of shine that I've seen you been getting over there, getting some run with the V show and
Yeah.
Nick and the guys there. How's your experience with that been? How's that been going for you?
Pretty good, being able to learn from like Bob and Nick, Nick's got tons of experience, and of course Bob's got decades of experience on doing this show, being prepared, just the little things that you like. Bob really does. He moves like to his own beat, right? Like
that's a way to put it. That is a way to put it.
He is his own individual, but it's like a really genuine and awesome version, right? He's like not putting on a show or pretending. That's just who he is, which I think is fantastic when you get the opportunity to be that.
Yeah.
So, but it's been great and a lot of fun. Like I said, getting to know some more people up there and being able to cultivate relationships and stuff like that. Because this is something, I love Louisville. I love sports, but I love Louisville sports. And being able to share any part of that in any way has always been awesome.
Yeah, it is and it's also like, I don't know, especially with me stepping away recently. And in case people don't know, I did step away from doing the mixtape. There is a little bit of course, it was right at the time when things are getting where you want them to be again. If we're Louisville athletics, you know what I mean?
Right. Yeah, everything's working the right way right now, and there's fun things to talk about instead of miserable things to talk about.
Exactly.
So.
That was the most draining part for the last 2 years, and it also I realized it corrupted me as a fan. Like
Oh, I'm sure.
like people that
And I think it was for everybody.
yeah, like if you followed me on Twitter, I sound like the most miserable sack of crap that I've ever met. And but a lot of people did it. A lot of people did the switch. I just did it for longer. So like
Right.
there was a point in time where last year, about halfway through the season, that everybody switched over, and then my tweets became very popular. Like then they started taking off. Like the negativity and the anger and the vitriol was okay.
I mean, I was an apologist for the first year of Kenny Payne. We were not in a good spot. There were so many bad things that had happened at the university, and we'd been through so much stuff. I was like, you know what, let us if it's a year and we get back on track, listen, let's just suffer let it hurt for a little bit. And then I went to it was either I can't remember which game it was. It was the first or second exhibition game the following year. And I think it was the first one because we won.
Yep.
And it was, even in the win, it was miserable looking.
Oh.
And that was the moment that I was like, oh my God, we're going to, this year's as bad as last year. There's no progress. There's no nothing. I just, I wanted to believe that a guy that had been involved in coaching, being the associate head coach or whatever it was at the University of Kentucky,
right,
like had some clue, right?
You try to,
and he just didn't.
It's shocking to me, like the way that we look and that we talk about not only them, but way we also talk about, or not them, but Kenny Payne personally, but also Calipari. Like, and that's a whole
right. Oh,
another.
absolutely.
Like it opened up because I was one of the people last year. And I still believed it until maybe about a week or two ago that I was like, you don't want to get rid of your Hall of Fame coach. You don't want to do it. Like, stop telling me that you want to get rid of him because I've seen too many great years under Calipari. I've suffered at his hands for, since I remember I was happy. It was weird. I maybe I wasn't really happy, but I was like, oh, that's great. Kentucky's getting Calipari. That'll make the rivalry fun. It was not fun. It never,
No.
It was fun like 3 times.
That first recruiting class, that John Wall recruiting class really put us behind the 8 ball real fast.
Yeah, and I realized, how quickly. Oh no, this is not going to go well. this is going to be a struggle. But I honestly thought he wouldn't last. I thought he'd be there for like 5 years and retire because I didn't think he could last.
I thought he was going to get caught cheating.
That as well, and then we did. But anyway,
right.
Overall, like that's like the shocking thing to me is that so many just like so many people, and but the way that they were willing to believe, like you said, even you, I tried to have it but I couldn't do it. That second season, I was like, we're just doing this again. Like, you can't go from, no matter, I don't care what happens, you cannot go from 4-28 to anything respectable. It's not possible.
Well, have you looked up some of the guys, like the transfer guys, like where like Sky Clark at UCLA and Trey White at Illinois?
I've
a couple of
surface level. Like, when I say surface level, like if they come up, I see them, but no, not really. Like Sky Clark's I've seen the most of, and then has what happened at NC State? Or one of those guys injured? Are they both injured? Or they?
Yeah, no. Mike James got injured before the season started, so I don't think he's even back. I don't think he's. I checked like a week ago. I don't think he's logged a minute yet, and that sucks for him because I really do. I like watching Mike James play. It wasn't productive. He didn't win. I thought he was a good basketball player.
I thought he was solid. I thought he was the one of the few guys that I wanted to see stay. But I think in retrospect, it was the right move.
I'm glad they got rid of him.
Yeah, completely restart. Yeah. Aiden McCool's the only piece we need to keep. We needed him.
Yeah,
but
absolutely.
Yeah. But overall, I mean,
solid transition piece.
Yeah. Let me ask you. Your they go. Gosh, Rain is just on fire. Like this kid.
I know,
Like
right?
this is the kid that we saw in the Bahamas, the first Bahamas trip. That
Right.
was
The summer trip.
he. This dude cannot miss. Like I'm gonna end up being in love with Rain Smith. I'm gonna get a Rain Smith tattoo on my face or my butt cheek, one of the
So
two.
well, speaking of that, right?
Yeah.
Like, so when you were talking about Rain and the Luke Hancock effect about how he, the beginning of the year it just looked rough. Like it didn't look like if he wasn't going to make threes, he wasn't going to be able to contribute. And I'm trying to remember which game it was, but he started getting to the bucket, like getting in the lane a little bit more.
I think this was the game that I don't know if you heard me talk about it earlier, but there was a game that I tweeted something disrespectful about him, and then he ended up winning the game in that way, in that fashion of
Yeah.
in the lane, not hitting threes, but he did something in the
Right.
lane at the end and won the game. And I quickly
Yeah, he got to the bucket.
I deleted that tweet quickly. I Rick Bozic'd it as quickly as possible because I immediately regretted what I had done.
As he did that, right? It's like the other part, like when he gave up on the thing that I don't know, maybe he believed that was his role and he wasn't going to be, that maybe he thought he couldn't contribute any other way. But as he became a little bit of a different player, like he expanded what he was, like he looks like he's got a little bit of shake in him now.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not saying I'm not saying he's Jason Williams out there or anything,
Right.
but he's picked up a little bit of shake confidence, right? Like you can tell,
Yeah.
like you can just tell he's a more confident player.
Yeah, it's I've always hated the term swagger for some reason, but
I can't say it either.
but he has it. But he has it right now. Like
Right.
there is something with it's the effortlessness of the shots that he can take. It's where he can just kind of like push off. And it looks, I mean, there were guys in high school I remember they used to be able to do it where they'd shoot it from like half court and they make it. But most of the time it's not, they're not just splashing it in, they're hitting, they're hitting backboard and they're making it. But
Right.
that's kind of how he shoots a little bit, where it's effortless. And I'm like,
it's a good wrist flick.
yeah. And that's what blows me away is when I watch it. Now, whereas we're looking right now, Louisville's up 50-25 with 30 seconds left, doubling up SMU. And my God, the confidence that I am developing right now with this team, I mean, I'm gonna go ahead and ask you. Well, we're almost into halftime, but like, how are you recalibrating the season? Like, are you recalibrating it, or are you just enjoying it?
So in the beginning, right? And I'm not changing an expectation.
Yeah.
But and kind of the as an end result, right?
Mm-hmm.
But when we're going into it, I'm thinking, as I ran down the schedule, I'm looking at it and I'm like 17, 18, 19 wins.
Yeah.
That looks like something that should be possible. Like, and that's not depending on how the rest of college basketball goes. Maybe that's a fringe team for the tournament, especially depending on who we beat.
Yeah.
But I figured we would drop some stupid ones that we didn't need to, and we'd win some ones that we didn't deserve to. But in the process of that, when we lose Pryor and we find out that we've absolutely lost Corin Johnson, I started grading them on a curve immediately, right? So I immediately started grading them on a curve, and when they figured it out, I realized that I didn't even need to adjust. They were going to do that for me. Like I gave them more grace when they didn't even really need it. And I think the Kentucky game was a great example of how they learned and grew quickly. We didn't win, but we also didn't look outclassed.
Yeah, it was.
So.
I was waging a war with myself during that game because like I was in the belly of the beast. I was with other my friends from high school. They're UK fans. And like I'm dealing with they're talking. They're not doing like as bad as like we used to back in the day. but there's enough.
Right.
You can feel a little bit of that. You know what I mean? And like every time I'm like, God, it's over early, and it feels they just kept clawing back. And there were moments where they got close there at the end, where it was like, is there some way that they could make it? And I mean, there was a possibility there near the end ish to make it a game, to make it competitive, and even if a couple things go their way, who knows if they could have won it? You know what I mean? But
Right.
it's one of those moments where I guess that was kind of the turning point for the season. Well, you have EKU, but EKU is a forgettable game. But after that moment, it was, let's be serious about this moving forward. And
well, I even think they were. I think they were serious in the EKU game. I just think that you got maximum like every ounce of everything that EKU could bring at you, and they're athletic. They're anybody that's a Division I basketball player. I've had a conversation with Maben before, and I think he's talked about it on the radio. Like, when you're going into the possibility of being drafted, like they're like almost like showcase camps that you go to, and he was talking about the one in Maryland, or Virginia Beach. That's where it's at. That you go out there, and he said there'd be dudes coming from overseas, like people that you didn't really remember, but that were like what someone would call like a mediocre college player. And you get out there, and they were just dogs. It's like he's like getting them on the court. Like, can they play in the system? Can they do what they're supposed to do? Maybe not. But when it comes to straight just hooping, they're animals.
Like, that dude's gonna take your lunch. Like, he's
right. And those are the guys that are at EKU.
Yeah.
Right. That's the kind of guys they got.
And that was something, one of those too, where I was watching. I'm like, these dudes look like grown men. Like, we have a lot of old guys too that are grown men as well. But like, it's a different body type, and you can kind of see it. You can tell that they've been there a little too long. Like,
right.
Not in a bad way. Yeah, that's where I'm kind of sitting with it right now. And I did this a couple games ago, but I was going through the schedule. And I mean, now, to me, I feel like the floor is 23 wins. I feel like that, and I don't know if that's being too optimistic. But I mean, if you win this game, let's see, did they remove this game from the schedule? Okay, wait, you win this game, you're at 15. You got, I guess you have your next hardest one. Is Wake Forest the next hardest one? I mean, I don't know.
Either that or depending on what Pitt gets into or how good they are at the end of the season, that March 1st game, they could pick. Again, Pitt's a good basketball team. They're just in some sort of weird funk right now.
I just think it's one of those things where at least you have Pitt at home.
Correct. Yes.
So that makes me feel a little bit. Of course, but we play our best basketball on the road. So, and that's what I do worry about too. I'm looking at the schedule. Georgia Tech. I mean, they're not any good. You win Georgia Tech. You beat Boston College. You beat Miami. I mean, NC State's one that I still worry enough about them because they kind of show up for some of those games against Louisville.
Right.
And Notre Dame, they're 8-10. We were talking about last year about Shrewsbury being the guy. Everyone was talking up Shrewsbury like he was the next great coach.
Right.
And they're 8-10. Florida State, 13-5. So Florida. Okay, so I mean,
Florida State would be one.
Yeah. So definitely Florida State. Okay, so overall, let me just say the possible, what I view as legitimate possible losses. So Pitt, I'll put Florida State on there. I'll put. I don't feel like I can put the rest of these guys on there. And I guess I just put Wake Forest because they're 14-4. So 4 potential losses right now. So if you win this game, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 20. Yeah, that's 23. That's 23 then. So like, I mean, honestly, I'm really picking this team to win 24 or more. You know what I mean?
And I think that's a fair spot.
Which is yeah. And again, I have to.
I'm not honestly. I'm not even mad if all of a sudden they have a slump there in February where they're just tired,
right?
And they drop 2 or so that we didn't expect, and they end up at 22 or 23.
But the thing
That's
is,
fine.
that would be almost. I hate to use this term, but it would almost be shocking to me because
Right.
the way that they've won these games is not by going out there and like like just eking it out. You know what I mean? Like they've comfortably handled these teams. Like I don't
Right.
like
We have run some people over. Yeah.
yeah, like it is clear that that Louisville is the better team on the floor, like game in and game out at this point, and that's why like I'm almost like trying to stop myself from, and I don't know why this North Carolina Wake Forest game looks like shit on here. But anyway, I'm trying to.
It's the floor.
Is that what
It's the floor. It's the floor at Wake. It's awful.
like it's like messing up like their graphics, like or like it's messing with the camera because it can't like focus. I
Yeah.
think. That's awful. But anyway, it's there's something about it where I am over here trying to think like, before it was just make the tournament. Now it's like win a couple games. Like I mean,
Oh, absolutely. Be in the second weekend. It's starting to. I don't expect it, but I see it as a definite possibility. Like I could see us because Pat Kelsey's also never won a tournament game, and that's fine. Right. Like listen, we've got a guy that's coming that clearly has some coaching skill and the ability to present a team and prepare a team. Maybe this is where he gets over the hump, but getting over the hump doesn't mean you make a run to the Final Four, right?
Right.
You gotta walk before you can run.
Yeah, and that's why I kind of almost there's a part of me that's almost like, gosh, I kind of just wish we were just at make the tournament. You know what I mean? Like I kind of wish we were back
Right.
I wish we were back at. I don't know if we're gonna make the tournament this year. And that's it's almost just because like I don't want to make myself take that next step. Okay? How often do you come on? When's the next time you're on with Nick? Do you know, or is it just kind of like a
tomorrow actually?
Tomorrow, okay. What's from what you see right now? What's Nick's main talking point? You know Nick. You know what I mean.
For the team?
Yeah, because it's either gonna be the you know what he's gonna do. He's gonna kind of I don't know. I'm trying to be nice. I love Nick.
He loves this team.
Okay.
Like he really does. Like I went out to the game there on Saturday, and after the game we met up over there at the BBC and enjoyed some cheap tequila.
Okay.
So but having a blast, right? And it's really, and I think the last year of listening to Bob and Paul call the games, like you could just tell in their voices, and that drags over into everybody else. You could tell in their voices that like it was just they were struggling. They didn't like watching what they were watching. It was just they were there. They had to do the job. They had to be professional, and I totally get it. Which, like some people don't. Like Bob's a U of L a contracted U of L person at that particular moment. He's got a job to do. He can't just dump on Kenny Payne for being awful because that's not what they're paid him for.
I wish he could have.
So
I wish he did.
it would be great for a person in that position, like at some point to just say screw it and like just be like, what are you like in one of those coach meetings and be like, or the coach interviews and be like, what is happening? What is wrong with your team right now?
There are moments of that where they give them a little bit of leash. Like, you know what I mean? Like I noticed at the end, remember last year near, I don't know, about midway through the season, 93.9's not calling Blank or Diener anymore. Like, you know what I mean? Like because you can hear Blank's off the Lottie leash. He is crushing Kenny Payne left and right. And there was a moment.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I remember there was a moment of Bob, even middle of the game. I can't remember who they were playing, but just literally lost it. Like he just said about how embarrassing.
It was the first actual game of the season last year.
That was the first game?
It was the first game because he had already watched the exhibition games, right?
Right.
And he'd and it was the first game of the season, and it was probably a solid 15 minutes in the game. It's before the half, but you could just at that moment it was over. He was like, oh, this is not good basketball, guys.
Yeah.
Like it was when the switch happened, and I can remember listening to it.
Yeah, okay, you're right. Maybe that's what happened. Maybe that's what it was. Maybe he went in, he got angry, and then he had to like pull it back a little bit for the rest of the year. He just kind of had to put it in autopilot. But that's what I just wondered. I wondered if if Nick tomorrow comes in and if he's willing to like raise the stakes or if he's just gonna be like, you know, we're happy with this. This is good. You know what I mean, kind of thing. Like he's got a little bit of that.
Okay, I get what you're saying.
You know what I'm saying? He's a little bit trepidatious when it comes to not putting the onus on this team. And
I get where you're at. I get where you're at. Like if he'll be like, you know what, this looks like it's a second weekend team now.
Yes.
Like if he'll make that step into that. You know, I don't know. I know that he's, like I said, he really likes his team and just enjoys. Like we've had a great time just being able to talk about. It's almost like being high. Like it's like being it's just so much dopamine that you almost can't handle it at this particular moment. Like 8 wins, what appears to be 9 in a row. Like who would have guessed that?
No, yeah.
Like we didn't see this coming.
No, I never did. I was going through the schedule and I remember telling one of my friends in my community group. He was asking me like how many games are you going to win? And I went through this and I was counting. I was like, do we win? Do we win? I mean, heck, we're talking about 9 wins in a row. Did we win 9 games in the ACC? Like I didn't think that was even going to happen, especially with the way they're playing early on. So it's refreshing. Like to me, okay, the way that I compare this team, and I saw somebody else did it in the comment section here on one of the videos I put out, and I'm so glad to hear that somebody else saw it too. The way this team feels like to me feels so, and I was a child at that point, but it's reminiscent of those early 2000s Rick Pitino teams. Like it reminds me of like, you know, you got a Chucky Hepburn who's kind of, you know, not saying they play stylistically the same at all, but you have that player who is next level, like Reese Gaines was. But then you got a lot of these guys that are just likable, and you love the energy they bring, like a Luke Whitehead and those kind of guys back in the day. That's what this feels.
Ellis Miles.
Yes, Ellis Miles, those kind of guys. That's what this feels like to me. So that's what I'm like. I'm looking at it, and I'm like, you know, if you have a couple pieces, especially guys like Hadley and who is it? Hadley and somebody else. Is it, or maybe it's just Pryor. But I know Hadley he could have another year in him, right?
Yeah, him and Pryor are both JUCO kids.
Yeah.
So they've gotten their eligibility back.
Okay. So well, also, I mean, tell me this. And maybe this is a terrible take. Is the team progressing better? No, I'm not saying because of. Like, was this inevitable, or is this a symptom of changing the way they're playing without Pryor? Does that make sense? Like, were they able to find their identity without him because they didn't have to lean into him as much?
I think James Scott became a better player because of it, faster.
Yes.
Right. But was he always gonna get here? Yeah, I think he was always gonna get to this point. I think the need made him grow. Right. So he knew his role was going to have to be bigger. And then, of course, you know, we didn't know it at first. And, you know, with the whole Waterman thing about his hand, when that comes out, everything kind of makes a little bit more sense. You're like, oh, okay, he's just trying to tough it out right now.
Yeah.
Like he's trying to make it through the year so that he could be a contributor because we are and have been so thin. The Traore thing was the kid broke his arm. Do I think that Traore would have been the player that he is today quicker? Yeah. I think he was always kind of this player. He just needed to get his confidence back from getting injured.
Right.
But I do think that ultra high energy, willing to do anything. Kind of like just a Swiss Army knife on the floor.
Trey Ori blew me away. Like I did not expect him to be this impactful in the games that he has played in. So that's been one of those nice little pieces.
Well, and Frank, right?
Mm-hmm.
Frank coming out and the quality, he's not always the most important, but he has been for some of the minutes that he's been on the floor. He's been the most important player. True. If he's not there doing the things that some of the stuff that he does, maybe the momentum changes a little bit, and that changes the dynamics of the game.
Mm-hmm.
He's not a superstar, but he's a good contributor.
Exactly. Speaking of one of the guys that I'm just watching right now, while they're showing some highlights, one of the guys that I really, really love, and I think this has kind of been like a fan favorite to love him up because is Kanai, and to see the player that he can become. And he's one of those that I kind of worry a little bit because he's gotten plenty of playing time, but he doesn't. I mean, he shines in moments, but he hasn't gotten because he has so many other guys right now with the spotlight on him. And I just I worry a little bit that he might get a look somewhere else and you end up losing him. But I at least appreciate the amount of time he is getting played as we start the second half right now.
I think he's committed to. I think he knows what the style of this team, what Pat Kelsey's going to do for him and his ultimate goals, right? Like where he's trying to get to the league. And, the style of basketball that Kelsey's going to play is going to allow him to showcase he's a freak athlete, right? Like he's incredible.
Yeah, absolutely. That's the thing. That's to me, he is one of those guys that, I mean, he's shown. I wanted Rain to pull up there. I thought he was about to. I thought he was going to. He's one of those guys that he really in flashes I see, and that's what I love about. I've been going on and on about James Scott. I don't know how he does it, but he's always finds a way to. I don't know if they just leave him open, but he always seems to have some route to the basket right there, and he's wide open every time, or he somehow easy. Oh, and then was that a block by him?
Yeah. No, that's James Scott.
James Scott. Okay, yeah. Who did I say?
Yeah.
Oh,
I thought you were talking about Roos.
Oh no. Yeah, sorry. That's the problem when trying to do this while the game's on. I get scatterbrained with trying to talk about 3 different players at one time. But he's always there. Something I don't know. I don't know what it is. He and Hepburn have some kind of telepathy. Like he's not
they have the mind. They have the mind meld.
Yeah, and that's just really something I can't say enough about, and that's why I sound vomit worthy though. Is when it comes to this team and the chemistry they have, you can feel it, and that's what's crazy to me is to see that them go out there and just little things that they can do. Okay, what are they? Okay, yeah, there we go. Good foul.
That right there on that foul. Yeah. That's like a great indicator of team right there. Is as soon as Edwards is fouled and he's on the ground, like nobody stays to themselves. They all run over there. They're helping him up. They're immediately in a huddle. That's them. That's just working together. That's like a practice thing that like nobody thinks is important because it looks hokey or it's you don't you can't see the immediate value in it. But it's what creates so many other opportunities and so many other behaviors on the floor.
It's just go get your man kind of thing. Just every single time.
Go take. Yep. Be a teammate.
Yep.
Be a teammate no matter what.
Yeah. Let me go ahead and just drop it in one more time, guys, to see what we have. There's multiple platforms I have this on right now. So we have 254 people watching overall. Do me a favor, smash the like button, go over to the YouTube channel, hit the subscribe button if you haven't already. We're doing. And I'd love to have Jinky and other people join me as well, as long as you're willing to. I want to bring a lot more content and try to keep this thing going. And then whenever Jinky gets his thing going as well, when you all start doing that, I know you talked about it. Are you all going to get going soon? Is that a plan?
Yeah, we're running through some stuff right now of what we can and can't do because obviously with ESPN there's contract stuff and there's things you can't just dive, you can't just run over. There's there's some stuff we'll be able to pull off, but we got to be careful. We don't want to cause any problems for the station or anybody down there, or do anything that we shouldn't be doing. So there he is again.
Yep, he's always there. And I mean, that's also one of those things where, and I get that. That's one of the things where, too, we talked about, like, when it came to trying to do watch-alongs, it was difficult because you also have the 93.9 play-by-play. And so if we're going to do a watch-along, you couldn't do discussing it. You know what I mean? Like,
correct.
You couldn't really say, shot by him, whatever. It would just have to be kind of like a ambiguous talking bleed.
I mean, a little bit like what this is. Like, there's obviously been a little bit of talk about, like, something that has directly happened in the game, but not in the way that a play-by-play would be.
Exactly.
Right.
Well, and yeah, they don't need that. You can watch the game or you can listen to Bob and whatever if you want that.
Which still to this point, like I normally I would turn the TV on mute and I would sync Bob and Paul up, and that's how I'd watch the game.
Yep. Yeah, I've done that plenty of times this season.
I grew up listening to Paul Rogers call games forever. Mm-hmm. So like that's my preferred voice.
You mean Big Blue Paul? Somebody was Somebody said that the other day. I remember them being like, "I can't believe Paul. He's been an undercover agent all these years. You can still hear him. You can hear him smiling when those Cats beat U of L earlier this season." I was dying.
Yeah, I don't remember who it was, but it's hilarious because Paul's a huge, just massive U of L fan.
Yeah. I mean, it's one of those things too, where like people. You grew up here, his family, whatever. There's a chance that your family's already going to be committed somewhere, and you can switch.
Right.
You can choose who you cheer for.
Yeah.
Like my granddad's.
Listen.
Well, it's also a different generation too.
Yep. My dad was a Kentucky grad.
Right.
So I grew up with a blue and white painted bedroom, man.
Oh man. All right. So wait, how did you? Okay. You got to tell me how this happened then. How did you switch? How did you make the switch? If your dad's a UK fan.
So when I started going when I go to college, I go to U of L because they had I was in the engineering school, and so when I get there, I'm still a Kentucky fan when I show up. I'm kind of, I don't know, it was half in, half out. I started going to games. I started going to football games first, obviously, and just enjoying it, being in a fraternity and stuff like that. Yeah. And, they're not going to let you show up. Like, we weren't showing up, and I wasn't showing up in UK gear, so now I got to buy U of L stuff. Mm-hmm. And then, naturally, God bless.
Yep. Dude is insane.
So it just became a natural progression where all of these great memories and all of these things were happening, and I can and then getting basketball, because as a student, I mean, football season tickets when I got there, I think were maybe like $50 when you bought. I think my basketball season tickets may have been like $175 or $150, and then you got and then you got the football tickets for another $50.
Wait, what year was this? Sorry, but
I got there in 2001.
Okay. I think I want to say the price was even the same when I was there for basketball in 2008. So
they were pretty. They stayed pretty consistent the whole time I was at U of L.
Yeah.
So
they were fair. You're not gonna get those prices anymore.
No, probably not.
Yeah.
And of course, we were at Freedom Hall still. We didn't have the Yum. Yeah. There's still pieces of free, and I think that's nostalgia because the Yum is beautiful, but there are pieces of Freedom Hall. Like when Freedom Hall the Yum gets loud, but when Freedom Hall got loud because the way maybe it was the way the sound bounced around on the inside of the build,
the acoustics,
like it amplified. God, it was so freaking loud in there.
Oh, I still. I'm gonna tell you, like when I was because I was in high school at the time, and I remember when they had when they were talking about building the Yum Center right before it really went into motion. Like I remember me and me and other guys that are UL fans in Shelby County High School debating like we can't move on. Like you don't want to move somewhere else. You don't want to whatever. And now it's like I can't even. I can't believe we've been in the Yum Center as long as we have. But it's one of those
There
things.
isn't a bad seat in the Yum.
No.
There isn't.
No, it's great.
Like you can be with your back against the wall in the 300s, and you have clear sight lines everywhere.
And also,
it's a great experience.
I'm a big guy. I'm not small. I sit comfortably in those seats. Like
yeah,
I go to Rupp Arena and my big ass is like squeezing in like this. So you get like me and my twin brother. We saw Blink 182 at Rupp Arena this year, and like we were just packed in. Like there was no moving. It was like I'm pretty sure I had to stand like on the basically on the outside area, and then also at Rupp Arena, it's so what's it called, slanted at the top that I just feel like I'm gonna fall down.
Right, the pitch is so high. Yeah. I never really have. I don't like Rupp, and I never understood why when the state does the basketball tournaments, why we always end up playing in Lexington. Now they'll say it's centralized, right?
Right.
But we're talking centralized by 45 to 50 minutes.
Yeah.
Like that's the difference. And the experience in the inside of the Yum Center and like what the high school fans would get to enjoy would be infinitely better.
Well, especially when you have guys coming from like Paducah and that area, 3 damn hours away. Like there's no way that it would be much better to me. And I understood it maybe like when I was in high school before the Yum Center was built, because like Rupp Arena probably was a little bit better than having Freedom Hall to go to. Now though,
well, I mean they do
Go ahead.
They do everything in freaking Lexington though, because like they play the obviously the L&N is a better stadium than Commonwealth or Kroger Field, like leaps and bounds. And then when you go down there, like the state baseball tournament's played at the place where so I think it's Wild Health Field or something like that now, but it's where the Lexington Legends played at. And it doesn't hold a candle to what the Slugger Field is.
Yep.
Like it's not even close.
No.
So I don't get it.
The only thing about Slugger Field though is parking is hard. Like I mean, I guess you can park. And maybe not. You can park at the football field. It's just I do hate that trek though. The trek of like going up those stairs and then across or whatever. It'd be nicer if it was easier. Have they crossed that a little bit with the? Is there an easier passage over now, or is it still the same where you either have to go there or you have to go that there's like a what the hell is it where it connects over in off of 3rd Street? You know what I'm talking about?
Oh.
Yeah, no, that's not really easy either, though. That didn't even connect over. So, I guess you just have to go across the bridge. And then, either way. So, that's the only thing I can think is maybe it's just parking's a little bit easier. But overall, the sports that I care about, like basketball and football, it doesn't make sense. Football makes sense. It has to be. Wait. Where is it? Is it hosted in Lexington this year?
Yeah, it's at Kroger Field.
Yeah, you're right. I didn't even think about that.
Like every day, everything is in Lexington. All of it.
Yeah, that's insane.
Like,
that really is insane that you say that. I wonder why. I wonder if there will be ever, especially because like there's just so much more to do in Louisville. There's just so much more.
Well, I think there's so many. So I think it gets pushed down there because. Commonwealth Stadium is technically owned by the state. Like even though Kroger Field's name's on it, I think the state still owns the rights to the stadium. I think they own the rights to Rupp Arena too. So like the state benefits from it monetarily, I believe, but it can't be that much. And you can't tell me there's not a deal to be made to get them in Louisville to let these high school championships happen in the city because we're just better at it.
Yep. No, I agree. Oh, speaking of which, that's what I was going to go off. It's funny, though, like you were saying about our families, about having family members that are friends with
Yeah.
or not friends, but that are fans of Kentucky and all that. That's how Kentucky is too. Like I have my granddad. He grew up he's a Kentucky fan, but he also grew up in a time where the rivalry didn't exist. So like he cheers for all the state teams.
Right.
He cheers for Louisville. He cheers for Kentucky. He cheers for Eastern. He cheers for Western. He likes all of them. Like there's no
Right.
to him that's what it is. So it's just funny to see that the little bit of that difference in those generations, and like really a lot of the hate.
Yeah, because it's probably
our age.
It's probably set really like late 70s is probably right before the clamoring for when Denny really got U of L rolling. Right now, I know that he stepped in and he immediately made an impact. But when we were perennially good and that held true the whole way through, when we finally got to play what they deemed the dream game, right? When in the tournament, when we beat Kentucky, like that becomes because that like Louisville had been asking to be able to do that for a while, and like Kentucky just wouldn't play them, wouldn't put on the schedule.
Right.
And then it kind of got it kind of got pushed because I think once we beat them, they were kind of like, well, we gotta like try again.
Yeah.
we can't let that be the one.
Yeah.
So.
Well, it makes sense. Oh, by the way, we haven't mentioned. Did he get any run in the first half? I'm just now seeing Matt Cross out there. This is the first.
Oh no, he started the game. I'm pretty sure.
Oh, okay. Maybe this is the first time I've seen him made a little bit of an impact, defensively at least. And I know guys are talking about him being a little bit longer. There's Bobby V, I think, right there.
Yep. Bob and Paul right there.
I wonder, did they get hit? So they're in Dallas. Did they get hit by snow out there? Or they?
He said it. He called at the end of the show, right? And he said he drags the weather wherever he goes, because I guess he was in Storrs, Connecticut, and then he was in Pittsburgh for that, and then he was in Syracuse, and just like garbage weather.
Yes.
and then back at home, we've got the biggest snowstorm in like 10, 15 years, and just cold all the time. Every time he leaves Louisville, it gets warm for a little bit, and then when he comes back, it's cold again.
Man,
so
it was freaking miserable. It was miserable today. When I walked outside, I understand it's a 25-point game. Yeah, I'm not getting nervous yet. I'm not getting a little bit. A little bit. Like let's stretch it back out to 30. But anyway, it was miserable today. I walked out this morning. It was cold, but when I walked out this afternoon, when the sun was out, Rain, come on,
oh,
Rain. It was painful. But okay, that's good. You drew a foul. There we go. All right. I think it's just now those threes aren't falling like they were in the first half, so that's why I'm getting a little bit. It's a long 14 minutes.
Hey, you gotta go dry for a little while. They'll pick it back up.
Yeah. But anyway, that's just miserable. I don't know if you've watched or if you've followed. There, come on, Kanai, finish it. There you go. Yes, sir. And one. All right. But I don't know if have you followed like the beaches and like New Orleans and what it looks like there right now?
I haven't, but Justin Nunnally. I'm sure that you've seen him on TikTok or on any of the reels or something like that.
I've heard of it. Yeah.
So Justin Nunnally, he came out, I guess, right before the snow started. He'd started recording a little video, and he's there in South Alabama, or like South Alabama. He might actually be in Florida now that I'm thinking about it, but he's in the Panhandle. And he was like, they said we could have up to two or so inches. He goes, I don't believe it. And then he did like a time lapse thing where he kept going back out there, and he goes, yeah, it's at least 2 inches. I'll tell you that. Like, and he's like, I don't know what we're gonna do, but I'm gonna hang up now and we're gonna go do some redneck shit.
It's literally it's insane. Like they are not going anywhere because it's gonna be colder too. I think the cold that we're getting right now is gonna follow them there after that snow goes through. So they're gonna be stuck there because like there's no way, nobody in Louisiana or Florida. That nobody owns a shovel.
That they know how to deal with it.
They don't have a shovel. They don't have a plow. They don't have anything down there. I mean, maybe they have a plow,
right?
But they don't have a lot of stuff.
I think one of my friends that lives in Houston, I think they may have posted a video. I think Houston actually got some snow too, possibly.
Yeah, they did. Yeah, I think my aunt and cousin live out there, and
And they're all like, "What the hell are we doing?
well, I mean,
We're
remember,
almost in Mexico getting snowed on."
well, and remember just a few years ago, or it wasn't that long ago, but remember when Atlanta shut down and people were stuck on the
Yeah.
interstate for like days, just days
Yep.
out there. Also, I love that that's how this game is going right now, as we're talking about snow, because
Right.
because this team is up by 30.
We're up by 30, so we gotta occupy ourselves with
Yeah.
weather.
This team is just. I mean, again, I do want to like hit on that, like
Damn.
the turn this team has made from the beginning of the season to now, and just speaking of the coaching that Pat Kelsey's done, is phenomenal. It is.
Well, the
What?
team selection, right? Like the way he put it together, where we even like multiple people are capable of doing multiple things at any particular time, and they all are that skill set. Like even if we have Cason Pryor is a a multifaceted player.
Yes.
Like before he got hurt, I know that he wasn't shooting great from three, but at his previous stops he was right, and he was going to figure it out. Same thing as what we're talking about with Rain. Rain figured it out. Pryor was going to figure it out too. So
yeah, it's crazy. I'm interested to see though how, of course, I am wanting to go with this conversation. I realize it doesn't matter because I was gonna say how he reintegrates into the team next year, but it's gonna be a totally different team. It's gonna be very different.
correct.
With,
Yeah.
is it Mikel Brown Jr. or is it Michael? It's
Michael.
Oh, it is Michael. It's just spelled like that.
Yeah, I think it's just spelled like that. But the people that I heard say it said Michael.
Okay, Michael
Of course,
Brown.
I don't know.
with players like him, damn. Okay, there we go. Another three. Who was that? That was Rain. Okay, all right.
Yeah,
He's back at it. We're good. We're good.
he's not even moving he didn't even move the net.
No,
The net didn't move. That's insane.
It really is. I like. When was the last time we've had a shooter like that? I mean,
Kirk.
Yeah.
That would be.
Yeah.
I mean, Kyle was really good.
Yeah, Kyle was.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was a beast, but he was physically a beast too. Like not just yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
You know what I mean? Like it's up there.
Totally different player than what Rain is.
Yep. Yeah. All right. Let's see.
I want to see Rain dunk.
How tall is he? He's like what 6'2" probably.
6'3". Yeah, right in that 6'2" to 6'2", 6'3" ballpark.
I mean,
Yeah.
I hate to bring up this name, but see it like that. That's beautiful.
Yeah, I mean,
right. Anyway, I was about to say bring up a name I shouldn't bring up, but after I've seen Andre McGee dunk, anybody can dunk. Because
right.
That dude, I remember that. I remember I had him. The picture of him dunking was my like Facebook profile picture for way too long, and that now it's now it's shame. Now it was that, and it was my ESPN profile picture was Andre McGee dunking that year. Yeah.
Freaking guy, man. Of course, I don't. Listen, that's not even like the whole situation and whether or not. Yeah. Because again, the truth of that, right? I still maintain that. Listen, only one person's ever told the story.
Mm-hmm.
And that's been somebody who I'm not positive graduated high school.
Right.
So I'm only gonna hold so much weight in what she says, and I'm not like trying to just like shit on her, but at the same time, like is she really that credible of a source? And for a person that like I said, I'm not sure she graduated high school to have kept meticulous records. Well, come on now.
And they're not even
like
well, from what we saw, they weren't even that meticulous. They were just written down in like ink pen.
Well, I mean,
right? Like,
right.
I mean, they're records, but they were not like that. That's what bothers me. But also, did I tell you the story? I think I told you. I remember that I'm pretty sure I was there. I was at Qdoba on Bardstown Road, And like it was like 2 or 3 in the morning.
Yeah.
It was back, get a breakfast burrito at 2 in the morning after being out at.
Oh, fantastic! It was a fantastic establishment at that moment.
Yeah, after being out at like
God, I love that place.
or whatever it was back in the day.
Yep.
And I remember him being right behind me, and him in his suit flaunting his cash with two women. And now that I think about it, I'm pretty sure they might have been too tall and Scrafty or whatever the hell the other girl's name was. But like I'm pretty sure now that I think about it, like I just started putting the pieces together when those news stories came out, and I was like, he was definitely with ladies of the night. That's definitely what he was up to at that time, and like it's just crazy to think because that was right during that time. It was my it was my junior year or senior year of college. So like I graduated my senior year was that 12 year, but 12-13 was I had the extra lap or whatever, the victory lap I had or whatever.
Victory lap.
Was that one. So it all lines up. I don't it still doesn't make sense to me in retrospect. Like looking back at it, like it didn't help the program at all. All it did was hurt.
No,
like maybe you got Shane Bohannon. Maybe Shane Bohannon. Maybe you got him because of that. But that's about it. Jonathan, you're right.
Yeah.
Rain! He's posted rain. Jonathan, you're right. Absolutely. This kid's insane. But oh man.
He might be playing himself into an interesting specialist role that might get a sniff at high level professional basketball.
Like in Europe, or do you think he might like? Are you thinking like?
I think he's a Europe guy anyway.
Yeah.
You know, I think he's that no matter what. But at the same time, like some of those guys that go to Europe do get the chance to come back over, and like if they develop just a little bit more, right?
Mm-hmm.
What's his name? Malik Williams is the one I always shoot back at.
Yes.
Because Malik goes over there, spends a couple of years, wins a championship there with the team. I think he was with it in Spain, and ends up getting into the G League. Gets a 10-day with the Raptors. Comes up for a little. Gets a second 10-day with the Raptors. I think he started out this season signed with the Heat, but then they ended up cutting him, and I think he got bounced back to the G League. But listen, when Malik was leaving U of L, did anybody think that he would even be where he's at right now?
Right. No, that's fair.
Like, he looked like he had imploded on himself.
Yeah, and I love Malik. He was one of my favorite players during that time, and
I do too.
I will say, Rain Smith does kind of look like one of those white guys that could make the league. You know what I mean? That like they just kind of end up in there, and he
doesn't play a whole lot, right? He comes in for moments.
Yeah, he comes in. I mean, exactly what he's doing right now. Gets hot, lights it up for a little bit. Maybe gets maybe an OnlyFans model girlfriend, something like that. I can see him doing that. He just seems like one of those kind of guys. I don't know if I don't know, like this team. Maybe I don't follow them close enough, or maybe it's been long enough that I haven't. Usually, you hear somebody had like what's his name? Oh, R.I.P. The Pirate. Michael Leach used to say they're fat little girlfriends.
Oh, like, fat little girlfriends.
Yeah, fat little girlfriends comment. I don't know about any of their fat little girlfriends, so I have no idea who's wifed up or what. Like back then, of course, maybe it's because I was in college, so I knew Peyton Siva and his girlfriend and all that kind of stuff. But I don't know these players, and they haven't shared it that much. So Rain, if he's looking, I feel like OnlyFans is a place you go look right now. That's
right.
That's him. Oh no! James Scott's he's pulling the Waterman. He's taking the Waterman 3.
Hey, listen, we're up 29. Go for it.
Yeah.
Let one go. You get one. Go for it.
I'm just saying. 29 becomes 27. Next thing you know, I'm just saying they're back in it. I will say that's the one thing that Marquette game did. In 2011, where they came back from 20. When Louisville came back from 20 down, Now
Yep.
I will always forever be like, well, we could still lose by if we're up by 20 with 4 minutes left. Like instead of just making me confident, it made me worry about that now every time.
The Duke game with Mac, we're up 22.
Yeah. Oh God. Yeah, that one. That I was at B-Dubs for that one, and that it's one of those that like traumatizes you. You knew exactly where you were in that moment, and you won't forget when it happened. Yeah, that one. Oh, that one pissed me off. That one. Oh, especially because didn't Kentucky get blasted by them? By like.
Yep.
Yeah, they were. There was like, wasn't it like it was like 120 to, I don't know, something crazy.
That was what's their names year at Kentucky. God bless it. It was probably honestly Cal's least talented team ever.
Was that the 9-win team?
No, not them. It was the team right before that. And I can't remember any of the players right now.
Okay. Shit. I'm trying to. Okay.
Should have been like the.
Let me pull
the 18 teams.
Well, the 18 team went to. They could have gone to the Final Four almost, right? But they lost to North Carolina or something, or they lost to Auburn. Or no, who did they lose to? 2-1-8 Kentucky. Okay, 2018 had. Oh, maybe it was 2018, 2019. Is that what you're thinking? They had Quade Green, as Jack's friend likes to say, Ashton Hagen's money phone, Keldon Johnson.
Yeah,
this is the team. Nick Richards, Emmanuel Quickly. Who else is on here?
Which Quickly turned out to be really good.
He did.
But I think that was his freshman year.
Yeah. God, I forgot about this team. Jamal Baker. Oh yeah, Tyler Harrow was on the team. Zan Payne. Reed Travis. Oh, it was the Reed Travis. EJ Montgomery. Yep. Oh wow. What? Okay, what team went? What team? Oh, that was the team with. Was that the team with Terrence Edwards and them that went like that only won 9 games? The ones.
I don't know. I have to look it back.
Wait,
back up.
Not Terrence Edwards. Terrence Edwards is our player.
That can't be Terrence Edwards.
Who the hell am I? The guy who died. You know what I'm talking about? I'm trying to be like nice about it. Give me 2019 Kentucky. Nate Sestina. No, that wasn't that one. It was 20. Was it 2020? Was it during the COVID year? Oh no, maybe 2021. No, it's not 2021. I guess it had to be 2020. Yeah, Brandon, BJ Boston, Lance Ware, Olivier Sarr, Devin Askew. Oh yeah, that was that team.
Yeah.
Let's see. They won. Yeah, they went 9-16.
That's the COVID. That's the season
right after COVID.
After the tournament had been stopped.
Yeah, I guess that was kind of the proven point with Cal. I guess that was. Yeah. Oh. Who's the one who? Terrence Clark. That's who I'm thinking of. Okay. There's no nice way to say.
Oh yeah, and the car accident. That's right.
Yeah, there's no nice way for me to, talk
about it.
Yeah,
car accident.
Yeah. Anyway. Ugh. What we got a review on, Okay. I see it now.
So with rain, and I had thought about this before, and honestly, I am almost willing to pay for it if he doesn't have it. Like this is a self-sponsored NIL deal. If he does not, because he's from Tasmania, if he doesn't have like a garbage, just trash Tasmanian devil tattoo somewhere on his body, like I would purchase that for him.
You know what?
100%.
You saying that now he looks like he would have that tattoo.
Right? Like on his rib cage or something, like just somewhere stupid, maybe on his chest.
Well, I know he's got those like leg tats. You see him, they're like, just kind of like, Oh, let me. Okay, now I'm gonna look up. Does Rain Smith? See, I don't follow any of these guys on like I don't follow IG or Twitter or them anymore, kind of thing.
Yeah.
It's one of those things where I only follow after if they were like really good for some reason or something. All right, Rain Smith. Let's see.
Yeah. Whenever that.
Let's see. Wait, okay, you can see some of these. Can't tell if it's like a tribal. That would be weird for him.
Well, you gotta remember he's from Tasmania, so he's not just your standard Caucasian.
He's okay. The one on the arm I'm seeing is like a compass with flowers. Maybe it says "I love you, Mom" or something like that. Okay, well that one's okay. That's that. What else we got? I'm looking. I don't think he has a bunch of Roman numerals on his inner bicep. He's a basketball.
Oh, you know what would be a good one is like a Tasmanian devil, like spinning the basketball on his finger, like on his calf.
Like
it'd be a great tattoo.
Like the old the old 90s, like the old 90s Tasmanian devil where he's wearing like the sagging pants and like the backwards hat with the that would be
absolutely.
Yeah, somebody
perfect.
Yeah, I'll say we don't have to crowdfund. You said you pay for it, but somebody
I would
work on this.
My tattoo guy would absolutely do that in a heartbeat. It would.
I'm trying to see what other ones he has. Okay, you can kind of see him in this. Okay, there's one. Oh, he has a hear no evil, see no evil, speak no evil tattoo, but it's like a weird.
Is it the monkey or is it the monkey or just the words?
Do you? So you're on the phone. You don't have my video on, do you? Where you can see that?
No, I don't.
Okay, that's fine. It's the words, but it's in front of like they don't look like monkeys. They're like this weird cartoony weird thing, like with the eyes or X's. I have no idea. It might be like maybe it's a New Zealand thing. I have no idea. He's got not Boba Fett. He's got the Mandalorian mask. I'm still looking. Let's see. I don't think he does. It doesn't look like it, unless there's. Let's see. I'm not saying I'm looking for shirtless pics, but if I can find them, I'll let you know.
But if I came across one,
I'll see what if I can find them, I'll save them. But anyway, let's see. Like this is what this. Well, damn, it's down to 22 now. I mean, okay.
I'm not worried.
So it looks like he just got his tattoos in the last 2 years. Because like I'm seeing this, and he just looks like an all white boy, no tattoos in 2022. So they're all pretty new. What I missed? Oh, they hit a 3.
Yep.
Was that him, or was it somebody else?
No, it was Kadai.
Oh, okay.
Now looking at some of the potential for like that, because you saw that, or at least I'm pretty sure I saw that Gilbert Arenas' son reclassed.
Oh, did he?
So, and I feel like there's a shot.
I mean, you have to feel. I want to feel confident because like his sister's here, right? And they've gone a lot.
They're Adidas to the core, man.
Man, it's okay. See, this could be the class, really, to me, that could not mend fences, but this is where Adidas can make good with Louisville fans.
Right.
This is that time that you really prove that that Louisville is, outside of Kansas.
That's premier brand for you.
Yeah, exactly. So if you can get, and a lot of that had to do with I'm gonna put a lot of it on Donovan Mitchell. With
for sure, yep,
getting Michael Brown Jr. But if you can get him, and then who's the other kid? The other kid is the other kid not gonna reclass?
The
Stokes,
or
is he? Was he a reclass or is he next year's?
Which one?
Is it Tyron Stokes? Is it the one that's like
on?
From here?
Oh, Tyron Stokes, the kid he's in LA, but he's from Louisville. He said that he wasn't going to reclass. I would be, he was a holdback.
so he's technically old for his grade.
Oh.
So we'll see what I feel like a lot of those guys that make that decision, they make it in the summer.
Oh, okay. Okay. So yeah, that'll be like
But
a last minute ish one if he does do it. I
yeah,
don't even know like how, and that's the one thing too. I've kind of fallen off, especially with NIL and the way that works now. That like now I'm just so focused on like everything gets pushed to the side because I can just wait till
right,
the end of the season and see who's hitting the market. And that
right.
it kind of dampens it a little bit for me. But if we can get, I mean, I don't know, what do you think? Like 3-4 guys, or is that too many now when it comes to getting
Well,
freshmen?
you figure you've got Khalifa coming back. You've got Corin Johnson will get his red shirt.
Mm-hmm.
Kobe Rogers will be there. Ruth and
Maybe Kaysen.
James Scott.
Oh,
God bless.
yeah,
James Scott, Kason Pryor. You figure that group's that's like 7. Is that right? 6, 7 people.
Yeah, it sounds right. Yeah.
6, 7 people plus you've got Brown coming in. So now you're at 8, and then a couple more. Like if you're looking at because the Nate Ament or whatever his name is, the one that has the fan stakes account or whatever,
Mm-hmm.
that we're literally just for whatever reason we're way out in front of everybody else. I think it's at like $32,000 or $33,000 or something like that.
Oh, really?
Which may not sound like a ton, but if it's you're looking at that as like a percentage based signing bonus, right? Like that's what it looks like.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah, okay. Man, you followed it more than I have. That's the hardest part about this for me because like I want to get back into it, but I just feel like so much of it is just it's a crapshoot. It's almost actually so much of it's felt like a waste of time for me the last few years.
oh yeah, because I mean, because until you're signed, it doesn't matter, and even then, sometimes you can get out of that. You can get out of your signature.
Yeah.
So
But it would
because all you got to do is transfer.
But it would be so damn impactful if they can get, like I said, these top tier Adidas kids, like especially
Right. I think that the
Kansas.
Ament kid is one rank ahead of Brown in the class, and I think he's considered a guard, but he's like a 6'7".
Mhm.
He probably just is the most athletic, best player on his high school team. So naturally, he's in a position where he handles the ball more often.
Right.
So, but like when we're talking about the potential, because it does say that Venus's kid reclassified from the 26 to the 25 class.
Yeah.
From Chatworth High School. Like I said, I feel like more so than I don't want to say I don't want to like poo poo on like on the girls team at all,
Right.
but more so than the team or the coach. I think Adidas drove Arenas' daughter to be here.
Yeah.
Right, because we are in women's basketball, we are one of the premier brands, right?
Yeah.
Because it's us and like probably NC State. Does that sound right on Adidas women's basketball?
Yeah, I would say
That feels
so. Yeah.
that feels right. Because everybody, all the other good ones are basically Nike.
Yeah.
Like everything else. But you've got but the Adidas push there, and the Arenas kid's good. He's really good.
I was trying to find his list. I'm looking at. Also, I'm getting a little bit nervous right now. It's now down to a 17-point game, which is not nothing. West Virginia's down too right now. Hopefully, West Virginia win. That'll help for us. But let's see. Okay. While they're calling a timeout, I'm trying to see. How did I not have his list on here? Elijah Arenas. Okay, here we go. 247. Let's go with theirs. We trust 247.
Yeah, basically.
So, huh? They don't even list Louisville on there. Oh wait, maybe Louisville's down the list. They don't even list Louisville on his.
Yeah.
Wow, they've got.
I don't know. I just feel like he's not. I don't feel because you got to like Gilbert had what Agent Zero shoes. Was that his signature shoe there with Adidas?
Yeah, I think so.
I mean, I think his kid's gonna end up at an Adidas school.
Right? Let's see. And the funny thing is, when I search Elijah Arenas, the first thing that comes up is Louisville. So I don't know if it's just because people are talking so much about him on Twitter, but like
that it's forcing it out there.
Yeah, but he's visited.
We're speaking it into existence,
right?
Quite literally.
But that's crazy. Like, there's literally. Okay, let's see. What's the other? What's the other recruit? Well, let's see what ESPN has on their recruiting. Yeah, they only have Alabama, Arizona, Arizona State, California, and Fresno State.
Now Arizona State might be. I think they might be an Adidas school.
Are they?
Yeah, because I think they were one of the. Were they the only Adidas school in the college football playoff?
Damn it! Yeah, you're right. Yeah, they're Adidas.
Because Notre Dame's Under Armour, and then I think everybody else was Nike.
There you go, James Scott. Yeah, that would be the one. I mean, that would be the one that worries me the most. Then, obviously, the reason I say is just, and I know these kids don't make these decisions. It's all about money now. But like, even then, when I was younger, it'd be like, if you send me to Arizona State, and I see the talent that they're offering up,
right?
I'm probably going
Arizona and Arizona State have an incredible talent pool. That's for sure.
Well, also I heard Lloyd Gardner talking with Diener this morning, saying that he was out in Arizona and Scottsdale, and the weather's just beautiful. It's like 70s and whatever, like all year round, I guess.
Well, it does get hot at points, but
I can take
it's
heat.
as close to San Diego as you can get.
Listen, I'm a fat guy, but I can't take cold. I can deal with heat. I'll sweat all day. That's fine. I don't mind marinating a little bit. But when I start freezing, I can't deal with that.
I'm temperately flexible. Like I've still worn shorts for most of this January.
Yeah, yeah. I've avoided doing that because I was always that fat guy. Like Dave Skull likes to do too. Like and he ain't big anymore. But
he's gotten pretty trim.
He definitely has. But
he's looking good.
He still does the shorts thing all the time, and I get it.
Oh yeah.
But like people always think it's like a thing of me like proving a point. It's like, no, I'm just lazy. It's more comfortable to wear shorts out and get in the car and turn the heat on than it is for me to go put full on pants on. That's all it is. It's not I'm a man. I am not a man.
Nope.
No, we are not. Whatever. Jonathan Hall, shout out to you. You're the one keeping the chat alive because I think most people are watching on Twitter or on, I know I saw my Facebook and stuff, had it on there too. We're going to try to get the YouTube one on. This is also the first live stream I've ever done on the YouTube channel, so I appreciate you. But like I said, if you all haven't already, do me a favor. Hit the like button, smash the subscribe button, hit the bell icon, all that good stuff. I'm going to be trying to pump out a lot more videos. There's a new series, and I may actually see if Jinky, if you want to get in with me on doing something like this might be more of a recorded one, but something, an idea that I had. Well, it goes off of Blank's idea, but I kind of wanted to do a more in-depth recording with this, and it was just kind of like pulling up old film. And like I know YouTube has a bunch of old games, but breaking down some of those older games and kind of like giving perspective, kind of like doing our own 30 for 30s on some of these games that we. I feel like the losses are probably the better ones to do, but like some of the big wins, heck, I would love to go. You could easily get all the championship that run. That's all on YouTube, really easy. But there's a lot of like cool ones. Like they had the 06 Louisville football game, Louisville, Kentucky, 06. They have the Wake Forest, the Orange Bowl. They have a lot of those games. A lot of those older. I mean, those aren't even old, but then there's even older ones. the Florida State one, some of those big games to kind of go back and break down. I don't know if you'd be up for that, but that would be something.
Oh, for sure. Like what's interesting is for a lot of those games. So the 2006 year, I go to the Miami game, and the Miami game is the last game I go to before I deploy to Iraq.
Oh wow!
So I spend that entire when we get that first real like BCS experience. I don't get to go to the game.
Let me
when it comes around again,
real quick. When I said we are not men, I meant I am not a man. Go ahead. You just said you went to Iraq. Oh wait, yeah. Let me lay that down. All right, continue. Sorry.
But when we come around and it's the year of the Cardinal, I'm deployed to East Africa. So like all of our successes, I'm like I don't get to go to very many of them. Now I did get to do the trip to when we played in the Final Four in St. Louis there in 05, and then in 12 when we go and lose to Kentucky in the Final Four. We made the trip for that where we actually spent, because we had to stop and sleep in the car. We spent more time in the car than we did in New Orleans.
Oh yes, see that is one that I'm glad I didn't go to because of that.
Oh, I mean, I had a blast.
Yeah,
I mean, it sucked that we didn't win, but man, I had a freaking ball.
Yeah.
And it really was. It was a great experience. New Orleans does the big events like that perfect. I'm sure the Super Bowl is going to be awesome.
I've gone to New Orleans a few times. Okay. Oh, thank you, Brian. Brian says my volume needs to turn up. Okay, I turned me up a little bit, and then it's hard to tell on my thing, if
on the phone
how balanced my voice is compared to yours. So I turned mine up. Brian, let me know if mine's higher now, and then I turn Jinky sound up down a tiny bit on the mixer and see if that balances that a little bit better. So I've been to New Orleans twice. Both of those were just for bachelor parties after the fact. But they were a blast. I would go back again. A little bit harder as a married father now, but I have heard the stories that when it was Louisville fans and Kentucky fans down there for that Final Four, that it was insane, and that it was like one of I don't know. I've heard
it was an insane invasion of the Commonwealth onto Bourbon Street and is it Fairmont? Yeah,
that sounds about right. Yeah.
It was all of the Commonwealth was there. It was wild.
Yeah,
because even though we rivalry and stuff like that, for the most part, everybody really does kind of get along. Like, very rarely is it like just ignorantly stupid, and that's usually just caused by, on either side, ignorantly stupid people.
Right.
So
that's yeah.
I think a lot of people can go somewhere and do some trash talk and not cause any real problems.
Yeah, I was trying to remember. I remember. Oh, that's one of the worst stories. Is I went out with some of my friends for that the championship game that night in Lexington, and I ended up on the front page of KSR the next day.
Oh,
I had drank a little too much, and I may have been throwing up the 3 goggles.
What?
I may have been throwing up the 3. That's insane. Race Smith, but yeah, I may have threw him up, but I wasn't like when I did it. It was I was just drinking. I did what everybody else was doing. I wasn't thinking.
Right.
I wasn't happy about it.
Well, you were just having a good time, and there's I don't know. I don't go have a good time, enjoy it. I can remember going when IU played. Was it Maryland? Right? Is that the right? Is that the 2002?
Yeah. 2002.
That's
2000. Yeah. 2002 was IE. And 2003 was Syracuse.
Syracuse to Mello.
Yep. Yeah, and then 2004 was UConn. Yeah, so it had to be 2002.
UConn. Yep.
But
no, so it. But I can remember going, and I'm not necessarily an IU fan, but man, I get. We all go down to and I don't know if you've ever been to Bloomington or not, but we go down to the square that's down there where the restaurants and bars are all at, like Nick's and all that stuff. and we're waiting for the game to end. They end up losing, and we end up getting tear gassed anyway. the Bloomington police tear gassed the crowd no matter what.
So
of course, I guess there, somebody chucked a beer bottle at a cop, and then it went downhill from there.
I have not, but that's amazing. I have not been there for a game. I've been there. I had to do an investigation as a PI up there in Bloomington and for a few things. So it's a nice little college town. But from what the stories I've heard is, I mean, they act like it's a great, like, is it a great party town, like for college kids?
Yeah. When you're college age, I would say that it's a lot of fun. And even past that, I think what would that have been? This would have been like 2010, I believe. So when my buddy Alex got married, he did a bachelor party for a month basically, and it was different events throughout the month that we ended up in Chicago. One of them was the Little Lane concert in Bloomington at Assembly Hall. But we went up there and we went out to I can't remember the name of the bar now. I'm sure if Jack Grossman was listening, he'd know in a heartbeat. But they had $2 Tuesdays, and it was like any drink $2, and that went sideways so fast.
I'm trying to remember.
So fast.
He had named a few of them, and there's like a few that stick out. Crap. Damn it, because Andy used to bring them up all the time. They sound no offense to them, they sound very musty. Come on, okay. See, this is what's gonna bother me. The game is wrapping up right now. 11 seconds ago, they're just gonna dribble it out. I wanted to get to 100.
Right.
There's no reason we shouldn't have gotten to 100. And it also would make me feel a little bit better. But that's fine. U of L wins it 98-73. Not even really a competition. And that's and then I just saw that West Virginia lost too. So that's unfortunate. That doesn't help our net ranking. But at the same time, Louisville goes on the road, gets the damn job done. 30 points by Rain Smith.
Yeah, he hit 10 threes.
Of course, it's all it's all threes. That's fantastic.
Yeah, it shows it at the bottom. That's a Louisville record for me. I don't know what the record was before that, but I was like 10 is absolutely the record.
Exactly.
I wonder what
how many
I wonder
threes?
what the NCAA record is.
Yeah, how many threes did the team have? If he had 10, let me pull it up. I'm trying to find it.
That line is 19.
19.
Yep, 19 for 42.
Okay, still far off from the record, but okay. I knew they had a bunch at halftime, so I thought maybe they could get close. But damn, hell of a performance overall. Yeah, that dude, the big dude. I don't know if you saw him screaming with ripping his chest open.
Yeah.
That's my guy.
Yep.
That's him. Just a fantastic performance. Continues on a 9-game win streak for the Cardinals. Like I said, I'm still kind of speechless of where they are right now compared to where they have been. And just looks like this thing, I don't see it stopping anytime soon. Just to kind of wrap this up with you. And then I'm going to go listen to, is it Ethan or do you know if it's Taylor Lynch tonight that'll be on it? I don't think
I think everybody's on. I know JCPS is on NTI tomorrow, so I'm not. Ethan's a Oldham County teacher, and I don't know if they're on NTI or not. But if they are, he might be there. But if they're not, it'll just be Taylor.
Wait, hold up.
Ethan will have to get up.
Jefferson County Public Schools is on NTI tomorrow.
Yep.
Huh. I wonder, do I get off? I mean, I know sometimes if they do that, we delay for work, but I guess it didn't happen today, so maybe it won't change. I don't know. I just want to know if I got off work or not, or if I got a late delay or whatever it is. But either way, great performance overall. Just excited. Like I said, right now, I'm even though I keep watching and just keep seeing them game in and game out have these workman-like performances. And each time doing it in a different way, different guys exploding. This time, Rain Smith for 30 points. I mean, how when was the last time we felt this good as a Cardinal fan? Exactly.
When we were number one in the country with Chris Mack. It's got to be the only other. Yeah. It's got to be the last one.
This is awesome.
It has to be.
If we can just keep keep this climb going. I can't believe the job Pat Kelsey is doing, and I can't believe just how much I've had to bend the knee, and I'm so thankful that I am bending the knee, because
Hey, the first person that and before they named him, the first person I heard really pushing for Kelsey, Tanner Brunemesso.
really
Like the week before it happened, Tanner was like, we were doing a gas bag show, and Tanner kept going. I really like Pat Kelsey. I really like the way they play basketball. It looks exciting. He looks fiery. He looks, because Tanner's thing was he wanted the coach to look basically insane when he was coaching, and that's that's a pretty good definition of some of the times when what Kelsey looks like. He looks like he's bananas, right?
And he's a big fan of your boy up there in Yukon, so it makes sense. Like if this is the new wave, the new generation, and we got ours, and we got lucky with who we got. I hope that's what's happening. I hope that's what we're seeing, and we're gonna be talking about this in 10 years down the line of just how great of a hire this was. I mean, heck, maybe we'll be doing it in just a year or two.
Right.
So
you'll never guess what I'm surprised what the 3-pointers made in the game is.
For Louisville, or period?
No, period. For the NCAA.
Okay.
Individual performance.
I don't know that. So individual performance. Is it Steph Curry?
No.
Okay.
I mean, it's nobody you would know. And actually, now that I'm really running down here, there's nobody.
Can you give me a program? I wouldn't guess.
Well, just I was just gonna let you shoot for the number.
Okay, the number. I'll shoot the number. So he had 10 on 30 points. I mean, there's got to be somebody who had 17?
15.
15. Okay. 17 was way too high.
15's a lot.
15 is a ton. 17 was going way too high. I got a little greedy. But that's insane. 15 threes.
And that was in 2018.
Wow.
And it's a Furman player.
Furman. You know what? That actually, maybe I'm lying, but that sounds kind of familiar, because I do remember hearing about Furman. They pop up every once in a while. So, damn, 30-point performance. I mean, how many players have we had 30-point performances? We've had Hadley, we've had Rain. Chucky's definitely had one, or he's probably had a couple.
Chucky's had one.
Anybody else?
Chucky had 32, I think. I think Rain had Has Rain had 2 of them? No,
I don't
he
remember.
Didn't. He had a 20. He had a 26 or something.
Yeah, but this is what makes me so excited about where Louisville basketball is and what Louisville basketball can be moving forward. Is not, especially for this season, not only that you have guys that are performing, you have a piece like Chucky Hepburn, but you have multiple pieces that can go off any night for 30 points. It's insane. It's insane the potential this team has to make, hopefully, a serious run and impact in March, and just something to give us something to remember. And I think they've already done that. Let's not get ourselves. They've kind of already done that as a team, especially given where we've been. But just to see what they can do in March and give us something to really celebrate at the end of the season would be just the cherry on top. I mean,
they're on the verge of being the most beloved team ever.
It really is. Like
it'll be some hindsight, right? Because I still think the 13 team is unbelievable. I think the 2005 team is unbelievably special. But I think it'll be just because we had been getting kicked in the face so hard for 7 straight years, and to come out and be this, right? It's beautiful.
It's crazy. Bubba Nero says, "Just be prepared, Justin. From here on, they either go undefeated in the ACC or lose to a bum." Yeah, I mean, that's what we'll see. Here's the thing. Okay, I hate to say this, but losing to Florida State would not be losing to a bum. But I think they win that
I don't
game.
think so either.
But because I think Florida State's actually a decent team. Pittsburgh, while I do not respect what's his name? crap.
The old hot dog neck.
Yeah, I hate doing the hot dog neck because like I'm a big guy. I got a hot dog neck. But even as a big guy, here's the thing. Here's the thing. That I'll say this, and I've said it to Diener, and I've had to tell them. Even when I wasn't big, the hot dog neck was still there. Like it doesn't matter. It doesn't choose fat or not. It's even when there was a time when I was small. Jeff Cable. Thank you, Jeff Cable. Yes. Small-ish. And I still had the hot dog neck. It doesn't help it. Sometimes it's just how it's built. You can't help it. I want to hear Kenny Payne's thoughts on Louisville right now. I do too. I want Kenny Payne.
Right.
I want a little Alexander. What's his name? Chris? Virginia. Corey Alexander.
Yeah. Corey Alexander.
Give me Corey Alexander. Give me Kenny Payne. Give me where's Butch Beard? Where's he at? Where's where's Jerry Eves? I want all their opinions. Where you at? Where you at, Jerry?
Jerry and Butch. What do you got to say right now?
Jerry. I'll give Jerry my mic if he wants it.
I have a Porsche Cayenne. Okay.
Okay.
That's and having that, obviously we had to. Majority of the time we had to get it serviced there because the only place to get it serviced is at Bluegrass. Well, right. Jerry Eves is part owner in what Bluegrass is. From the start of the second season on, I have not been to Bluegrass Motors, not a single freaking time. I won't go. I'll set the car on fire in an alley before I ever go back to Bluegrass Motors.
That's dedication. I love that. That makes me so happy. Like thank you for doing that. That's a true fan. That's a true
Jerry Eves is as over. He's as over in my book as Kenny Payne is. Like it's for everybody that's mad at Kenny, you need to be equally mad at Jerry Eves. Oh, I believe that wholeheartedly.
Oh no, I agree with you. I'm actually much more mad at the fan base of people that supported him and that pushed it on us more than I am at Kenny Payne, which is weird to say. Real quick to my guy, Juventus Hub, appreciate it, my dude. Asked me thoughts on the Juve game today. Sick of this shit. There we go. That's all I got. I'm sick of it. I'm Scott Reynolds, so sick of this shit. Nobody cares about Juventus here except for you and me, Juve Hub, and they're playing like dog shit. I mean, it's just every game it's a draw. Anyway, and then Bubba Nero says Kenny Payne already lining up his next babysitting gig in the NBA. So,
right, he can go coach one player.
Yep,
specifically just one. That's all.
Yeah, he'll just work him out 1-on-1, and then he's good to go.
Oh, God, it's disgusting.
Anyway, I sorry, just a second. Your boy's dying over here. I don't know what happened. Something's got in my throat. That's what she said. I'd say save it, but nobody's saving it. Yeah,
so you can save that for your mixtape.
Yeah, I'll do the solo just Justin and Jinky mixtape for on here. That's what we said. Jinky, thank you so much for joining in and doing this with me. Appreciate it. It's been a blast watching the game and getting to talk about it and break it down and all that. Hopefully we can have more stuff in the future doing things like that. And then, like I said, let me know whenever you get things going with your side of stuff too. I'm excited to see how that goes and see if I can be of any help at all. Guys.
Oh, absolutely. You already have been.
Appreciate it, my man. Let me know real quick, guys, if you haven't already, do me a solid favor, smash the freaking like button, hit the subscribe button, go to the YouTube channel at Now We Can Talk Like Fans, hit the subscribe button, all that good stuff. Jinky, any final words before we get out of here?
Man, 9 in a row. Who thought we would be here? And it doesn't look like it's slowing down anytime soon. It just doesn't.
Hell yes. It's the greatest feeling that I've had as a little, because I love football. I love football so much, but basketball is always going to be my first love. It came first. It's been my everything since I was a kid. It gets me through the shitty winter months like what we're having right now. During this miserable cold, it makes everything better. So just excited to see the Cards back. We'll see you guys next time. Go Cards.
Go Cards.